but I wanted to go through that because there's a couple in this attitude and image class. Honestly, you guys, attitude is 90% of this business. So I'm going to talk about it last. I wanted to first just talk about image and what we stand for, who we are, because attitude is a big part of image, right? It's kind of goes together. But if you talk about like your physical image, I just try to uphold the legacy of Mary Kay. She really wanted women to think like men and be very successful like men, but she wanted to never lose the femininity of you as a woman, as us as a woman. Can you be feminine and wear pants? You absolutely can. But as as her legacy, she asked us to wear a skirt or a dress. Now the company, I will tell you, there are some people that are bucking that big time and actually wearing pants, and it's okay. I mean, I can't fire you. Let's just back up here. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just kind of telling you the way we think in our line with Dawn Sweeney and Debbie Moore and Mary Kay. We're just kind of really close to Mary Kay's Ash herself as far as lineage. So that's kind of the way we've always thought, okay? Like if you go to a T-ball game, like I used to go to Marty's T-ball game. Of course, it was on Tuesday night, and I actually would have on this Mary Kay suit. It was crazy, so hot. But normally you wouldn't go to a T-ball, game with your a skirt and all this on, but you would level up. This is what I always say, level up one little bit, like have your lipstick on, have some mascara on. Like you're just one step above everybody else is there. You still got your shorts on, you still got your jersey that's matching the kids, like you got all that going on, but you're just one step above. That's kind of the way, because why? Seriously, Mary Kay is an image, but it is what it is. Like I was a PE teacher and a basketball coach, and I would rather wear sweatpants than anything else. Like I am a comfy girl. I taught PE, so I wore my little windsuit. That was back in the day when the windsuits were in. I wore that every day. So, I'm that person for sure. But this is the way I always put it. Would you go to a dentist that had no teeth?
No.
You wouldn't. You just wouldn't. So that's the thing when there's some times when I'm like, wow, I'm not dressed right or whatever, but I do try to have my face on all the time, not leave my face at home. But, I just have a little bit of makeup, a little bit of lipstick or whatever. I have a little bit of something on always. I try to, so that I'm not embarrassed if I really up on somebody that I'd really like to offer my card to. So dress at least where you could hand out a card if you ran to somebody. Like yesterday, was it yet? Wait, what's today? Monday. So no, this wasn't yesterday. This was um Friday. So Friday, I pulled up into a parking lot. I was moving out of the studio, sweating like a pig. Of course, I had my makeup on, but I had on t-shirt and shorts. I literally saw Mary Kay inside this building, like a store, and I'm like, wait, that's not legal, first of all. But I did want to see who was in there. So anyway, it was a place where they're having like a little vendor show. So I did introduce myself. I said, listen, I'm Lynn Purser. I'm a sales director of Mary Kay. I know I don't look like it right now, but I just wanted to introduce myself. I wanted to see what was going on. But you know what? That was such a God moment because you know what happened? She was showing me a room where I could possibly rent out since I just was giving up the studio. Isn't that funny the way the Lord works?
Oh,
She
wow.
showed me where a place, she said I could rent this room for 2 hours for $50. Are you kidding me? I was pretty excited. So I just felt really good about that, but I felt okay going in there, even with the other Mary Kay people, just because I at least have my face on. I wasn't dressed appropriately, but so anyway, I just say all that to say, just try to think of that all the time. Um, I'm just going to look down at my notes to make sure I'm not leaving something out. Do I wear pants sometimes? I absolutely do. I think you do have to read the situation. I try to wear a skirt though, because here's the thing, me in my position, and I'm going to be telling this person to wear a skirt if she actually signs up. So when I interview somebody, I really want to wear a skirt because I don't want her to say, well, you didn't even have on a skirt. Um, but do I deliver my products with pants on? Sometimes I do. Now, I do not deliver product the way I looked that day. I do at least put cute outfit together if I'm going to go into somewhere and deliver product. Even if I run into BCA and I know that the only person that's going to see me is um the receptionist there, I just still I'm going to at least have something, like that. So there's a lot of stuff it talks about, back in the day we talked about smoking. If you're a smoker, don't smoke like during your class. Just don't, wait till you go outside. Chewing gum. I am a gum chewer. I am a professional gum chewer. I love to chew gum, but don't chew gum while you're trying to do, these are things you feel like are just normal things. Um, no alcohol. Now, here's the thing, like I have been to some parties where the hostess has served alcohol. Sometimes it works out for the good. They get a little loose with their credit card. Just kidding.
Mhm.
How do you like that? Um, but um, if they ask me, I do say I'd rather you not, but I mean it's your house. If you do, you do. I just, several times it's happened, but one time it got ugly. They got too loosey. There's the laid back drunk, right? And then there's the mean drunk. And I got a couple of mean drunks, and that was not pretty. They just start saying what they want to say. So I would say no, and definitely if they drink, don't drink. No matter, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with drinking. I'm just saying at that situation, don't drink with them. Um, so here's the thing about meetings, you guys. When we meet in person for sure, and even when you're inviting people to something that I'm coming, like if I'm coming to do your party, for the most part, I would like for the people that are having facials to be over 18, unless it is a mother-daughter team. Now, listen, those mothers will buy more for their daughter than they'll ever buy for themselves. If they're like a teen, like if they're already wearing makeup or using skincare, go ahead and let the mother-daughters come. But don't invite a bunch of 16-year-olds and think you're going to sell something. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to call me and say, I put Mary Kay on 10 faces. Well, eight of them were 16 and that doesn't count. You know, and really over 18 is pushing it. I like it when they're like 21 and they have a job. But anyway, no children, under the age of, I don't know, I like to say under 12, even if it's a mother daughter, just, it's your business. You can do it the way you want to. I've done like 8-year-old birthday parties where they're all 8 years old, but that's a whole different situation than when it could interrupt the whole party if they have one of their children there. Um, see. Okay. And then we just start, it's so funny when I look back at all this stuff that I'm like, man, I need to start looking back at this stuff. It's like your purse should be neat, attractive, and in good repair. In other words, like the pleather is not peeling off, off of it. I got some of those, where it's just, you're like, well, this is a little much. Um, Business cards, have your business cards everywhere. We used to say have business cards in every pocketbook you have, in every coat pocket you have, in your car. Like have a business card everywhere so you can hand those out. I know there's the new thing now where you can just do like the barcode. What's it called? Is it called? It's not called bar. Some kind of code.
The
You know the little thing. That's how all mine are that way
QR
right now.
QR code.
It is
Yeah.
QR. Yeah, okay, yeah, QR code. So I know that's in. I don't know. I just still like handing out a card, but if you don't, you at least hand them your phone. If you don't have a card, I have people put their phone number in my phone now. You know, just be very professional about it. Okay. Any questions about that image? Okay, just I think if you would always go back to you would never go to a dentist with no teeth. Think about the business that you are in. You're in the image business, whether you want to be or not. People are coming to, people that have gross haircuts. I just don't go to them. If their hair is cute and in, I'm like, she can cut my hair. Look at how cute she is. You know what I'm saying? All right, so attitude, and there's a little bit of emotional management in this part. Um, I really do, like I said, I think 90% of what we do is attitude. Um, there's so much to listen to these days. There's so many groups to join on Facebook. Honestly, you guys, I am not even there's a group like it's called the Mary Kay Facebook group. There's a few Mary Kay groups. I'm not a member of any of them because sometimes it gets on my nerves if they start talking negative and I can't do my all right, girls, let's don't be negative. Let's figure out the positive. So I don't listen to those very often. So I would say if you can we've got like a boot camp series. Our national sales director Dawn Sweeney, she has this series where she trains on that. That's something good to listen to. There's a lot of inspiration. You're going to have a lot of opportunity with these Zooms that you could get on. But see, when I was brand new, I used to walk uphill in the snow to school. I don't mean to sound like that. But when I was brand new, we had cassette tapes. That's a while ago. Now then we had CDs. That's even archaic now. Now we have all the things. But I listened to something positive every day. I just did. Um, to me, I mean, I feel like, read something positive in the morning. I choose to read the Bible in the morning. You guys, it's just something positive to feed my mind so that I can start the day that way. Who are you listening to every day? Like, be very careful who you're listening to. My niece is coming to Coastal College of Georgia next year. So it's my nephew's daughter. How old am I? I don't even know. But anyway, anyway, she is coming and I'm like her emergency contact. So she came to my house, her and the girl that are coming with her and her mom, they came over here last Wednesday, see where I live and all that stuff. And they just started, I said, well, how was it? And they're like, oh my, it was horrible. I mean, it was nothing like it looks like in the brochures and stuff. Like they had SpongeBob on the wall. Why would you have SpongeBob on? I mean, like it was so negative. I can't even tell you. Every word came out of her mama's mouth, her mouth, and not, she was kind of laughing at her mama and her friend, but they were so negative. So, I mean, I just assumed they weren't coming. I mean, that's how bad it sounded. Like if I was talking about something like that, I wouldn't even go there. So I immediately said, I'm like, oh, well, so y'all decided not to come here. And she said, oh, we're coming here. I'm like, what? Wait, what? Why? You hated everything about it. Why are you coming here? She's like, oh, well, I don't know. We're just coming here. I'm like, okay, this is what I did. Something's got to change. Start pointing my head. I said, listen, if you can't get out of it, you might as well get into it. So that's what I'm telling you guys. If you figure out what is positive that you can think about, this business, you can make a lot of money here, but I'm going to tell you right now, you can't make a lot of money in this business worrying about all the negative stuff, worrying about all those people that tell you no. And I said it right. All those people that tell you no. It's not just one or two. It's a lot of people are going to tell you no. Okay? But it's okay. It's so worth when the people tell you yes. And it's so worth when they buy a repair kit. And it's so worth when they sign up and you change their life. I love recruiting because it can change somebody's whole outlook on life. I'm telling you, it really can because, well, if you're listening to the right people. Um, so what are you listening to? Who are you listening to? And these are life lessons. This isn't just Mary Kay. This is life. Who are you listening to? What stupid social media? Okay, I hated that word. I used to get so mad at my high school students when they'd say that's so stupid. Oh, I hated it. But those stupid social media, sorry. But the people on social media that just rant you up. Like if you can feel yourself getting upset, like the minute you start feeling yourself like or getting negative or like getting in even with them, like, yeah, that's right. She should tell them. Like literally go up, do the little three buttons, let all the things come down, and go down to unfollow and click on it. Just stop following. Y'all, life is too short to be listening to all that stuff. Just scroll down, unfollow. I do it all the time. They don't even know. You didn't unfriend them, but you just are, I'm not listening to her anymore, or them, or it, or whatever the social media thing is that just gets you upset. Also, texting. This is another thing that can get your attitude wrong and your emotional management. This is another part of that too, is I, if you've heard me train you at all yet, I really say the phone call is better than the text. I say that all the time. It's easier to say no to a text. It's easier to ignore a text, right? I say all that, but here's the reality. It's easier for you to put your thoughts and implications on a text that never meant that. You know, but I could text, it's raining outside. And that could mean, it's raining outside here. Oh no, my word, it is raining outside. Or, you can think of, there's different ways to read into it. And what we do is we read into it negatively, usually, when people don't mean those things. Okay. Sometimes they just say no. And you're like, I wonder what she's meant by that. Does that mean no forever? No now? No, she hates my guts? No, like what's no? So does that make sense? That's why I think the phone call is so much better. Yes, I realize a lot of people don't answer the phone anymore and they don't like the phone call. But even if you have to leave a voicemail, I think it's so much better. Somebody told me the other day that they think it's rude for somebody to call them. I'm like, oh, really? It's rude for me to call you? And she's like, well, I mean, because all of a sudden I was like thinking about myself. I just call people a lot. And she's like, well, I mean, why not ask me if it's a good time? I was like, well, when you answer the phone, that's what I say. Is it a good time? And you can always say it's not a good time. I mean, anyway, so some of this stuff I realize is a little gray area, but I'm just telling you the best practice I think is actually to call people. There's cycles that you're going to go through as a new consultant. I want to tell you, see what time it is. The cycles that you'll go through. It's first you're brand new and you're excited about your business. Like you signed up, so something excited you about it. So you're so excited, you're ready to do this. That's the first cycle. Then the second cycle comes, and you've either experienced negativity from a friend, your best friend says, why are you doing that? What has happened? Or somebody tells you no, or several people tell you no, and you just get down and discouraged. That's normal. Nobody likes to be told no, right? We all are told no our whole life, but for some reason in Mary Kay, all of a sudden when somebody tells us no, it's like a dagger. Um, so that is when I think Paula and I had this conversation already. That's when I want you to call me. When
Yeah.
you're in that second phase, you got to call me because I'm going to tell you, I've been in that phase a lot in my 35 years of Mary Kay. But here's the difference. I can go through that phase in about 25 seconds, where it used to maybe take me 25 days, then 25 hours, then 25 minutes, and now it's just 25 seconds. It's just, I am not going to let somebody steal my dream. You all started this business. Everybody on this screen right now, you started to make extra money. And I'm telling you, you can make extra money in this business, I promise. But you can't let somebody else rain on your parade so bad that you let them stop you. Okay? So you're brand new, you're excited. Now, number two, somebody messed you up and you're frustrated. But then the third thing is you got to make a decision right then. After you call me, make a decision. I'm either going to do this or I'm not. I'm either staying in or I'm getting out right now, or I'm just going to stay in and move on and move on and move on and move on because that will happen. And you've got to get out of that as quickly as you can. Okay. So that's why a new consultant has a pretty good line to me. Of course, I'll tell you about 5 years ago, I stopped. Is this the way I'm fixing to do a double negative, I think. I stopped not answering the phone. That's a double negative. But I stopped because I had started this whole looking at who it is and then deciding what they were going to say to me and then deciding how to, like answer the phone. answer the phone, Lynn. So I answer the phone more now than I ever have in the last 5 years. But what I want you to know as a new consultant, I really, really like if I'm with my 5-year-old grandson, and some people, I don't answer the phone sometimes, because I can't. But if I'm with him and I glance down at my watch and it says Kelsey Duncan, oh, Kelsey Wilds is calling me, I may stop. I might tell Cameron, hold on just a minute. I got to take this call real quick. And then I'll see what you have to say, but I'll probably tell you if I have him with me. And if you will be very nice to me and say, I'll make this quick, because I don't want to say make this quick. I'll just say, I'm with Cameron, but I wanted to know what you need. So, so just know that you've got to quit. I'll answer the phone if at all possible. Okay. If you need me. And then number four, so you've made the decision. Now the fourth phase is you recommit to your business, and you just get re-excited. Whatever excited you, I still try to get you to think about like what made you sign up. Always go back to what made you sign up. Don't let a no tear you down. Okay. Don't let somebody else rain on your parade to where it's soaking wet and you can't get it back. Okay. So those are the four that is normal. Know that that's normal. So those are just some tip of the iceberg things I wanted to tell you guys. I wanted to tell you, I think most people know a little bit about me, but I just wanted to tell you that some of this stuff, I am fortunate enough that my baseline is pretty positive and it always has been. It's probably part of being, in sports my whole life. Like you just got to move on. Like you can't quit when you miss a shot in basketball. You got to go down and play defense and come back and shoot again, right? In football, like all the sports are like that. Whatever happens, I got to get up and go to the next play. I got to forget that play and move on. So I think that has helped me. My mom and dad were very positive people. So I was surrounded by a lot of positivity. So I always thank the Lord that that is my baseline. But you know you. What is your baseline? Are you immediately, when I say, hey, write a list of 20 people that have skin, do you say, oh man, that'll be easy. I know a bunch of people. Or do you say, oh my gosh, 20 people? I don't even know 20 people. What am I going to say to 20 people? Okay? You know what I'm saying? Or if I say, um, all right, you need to, invite 10 people and make sure five show up. 10 people. Well, if some five people tell me show, they better show. Like, is there always a negative thought that comes with anything? Um, so that's in life too. Try to be positive. Like, when somebody uh talks bad about somebody else, do you jump in or do you say, oh, well, maybe this? I wonder what my face looks like. Because today I'm going into a restaurant right by myself. This really nice looking kid, he wasn't a kid, he's a 30-year-old man, but he looked like a kid to me. You know, he opens the door for me. We opened the door for the people in front of me, and then they went in, and I said, thank you. And he said, do you have 2 minutes for me just to vent? And I'm like, sure. I mean, what? Can I tell y'all? He came into and sat down with me at lunch. He wouldn't let me buy him lunch. He said he had $8 to his name, So he's telling me all this. So I'm like, the boy, he wants money. And I said, what you gonna use that money on? He said, I need some weed. Anyway, I thank the Lord after it because I'm like, you know what? I was able to talk. I mean, I'm not a therapist, but I just talked to him and let him talk to me. And he told me he felt better that he wasn't going to walk down there and get weed. He's living at the campground and he needs a job. But anyway, I mean, he'll get a job, but will people do that? I'm not like patting myself on the back, but I'm telling you, I went out with my car and I'm like, my face says, talk to me. Just talk to me. Or is that what are you welcoming for people? Or we always talk about my daughter is not this face. She has that, wait, what's it called? Wait, RBF? Wait, is that it?
Mm.
RBF, RFB, whatever. It's not a nice word. The B is not the B is exactly what you're thinking. Relaxed B face. So that's what Marty, when she's just sitting there, she looks like she'll kill you if you talk to her. But I'm just, okay, I'm sorry. All right. So anyway, just these are common things when you're in this business, when you're in sales, you guys, you got to be nice, even if it's not who you are, you know. That Christobel, she can talk to anybody. I've been with her a couple times and I'm like, and she's just so nice and talks to everybody. And I'm just like, she talks to people more than me about Mary Kay. She's gonna be selling machine before we know it. But she already is. But anyway, that's just a
That's
couple
how
of
I met
things.
Joe.
That's how she met Joe Steen. Yeah, just at the restaurant, just
Yeah.
talking. So, just think about those things. We'll go deeper into all that. Um, so this is every Monday night. So at 7:30 tonight, like in a 30 minute, 10, 20 minutes, I'm gonna have just my consultant Zoom. So it's for more seasoned consultants. We don't have any secrets, but honestly, I just think if you guys will stay on this 6:30 one and skip the 7:30 one until, you go through all the seven stages. Um, I do have during COVID when we couldn't meet, my daughter and I um, did these trainings. So you're welcome to go kind of look at that's on my Facebook page. It's called, I'll invite you all to that. So just it's called, I think it was the Oaks. Lynn's Oaks training, new consultant training, maybe. And you can go there. That's all that's on that page, just our trainings. So you can look at that. But I would love for you to do that tonight at 8:30. Our national sales director has a call. I didn't realize that when I started ours tonight at 6:30 and 7:30. But she is doing a call for anybody that did 600 in February. Wait, March. See, oh my gosh, it's April already, y'all. Anybody did 600 in March or that were stars. So really, um, Paula, Joe, and Peggy, you guys can get on that call at 8:30 if you want to. But it's totally up to you. It'll be a lot of inspiration. She will be recognizing you guys, like your name will be called out as doing either being a star or being doing the 600. And then she is the guest speaker, I think. So she's our national. So you'll get to know her a little bit. It's not a bad thing to be on. Um, I just when I looked at that today, I'm like, oh my word, I'm gonna have a Zoom at 6:30, 7:30, and 8:30. And I'm the person that hates sitting in front of this computer. But anyway, so do you guys have any questions about what we went over today? Any thoughts?
I have a question.
Okay.
Um, the first time I signed up, we got Mary Kay Ash's biography,
Yep.
and this time they didn't send that.
They
Did
send it with
we?
your first order now.
With my first order. Okay. I was wondering if we still got that because I'd like to read it again. Okay.
Well, I told Kelsey, y'all don't know this, but I have a professional organizer at my house today and tomorrow. She's organizing my office since I left the studio. She's coming here. Yeah, Michaela. I met her at Paula's meet
That's
first
right.
party.
That's
She's
right.
one of her parents, and she gave me her card. This is another thing. I love supporting entrepreneurs, but anyway, so she's moved my desk, which I like. I'm going to put curtains up so it's not so bright. But I have like 16 of them over there. People that get out of Mary Kay, they give me everything. So if you don't get one anytime soon, I got one for you, sister. But that's Kelsey. Thanks for reminding me of that. It's a great book it's positive, of course, but it also kind of lets you know what you represent, like where we came from, like what Mary Kay did to start this business. It's amazing. So it's a really good book. Um, yep. So let's next week. Let me look at my picture so I don't tell you wrong. I think we're going to be doing booking and coaching. Um, but what we will do is next week I'll have a countdown, like to see how much you guys sold this week. So we'll look at that. So even if you don't have a party booked, you can sell somehow, maybe. Let me know if I can help in any way. Yeah, next week I'll be booking and coaching. So, but honestly, you guys, what I'm going to teach you next week is what's in your training packet. You know, write a list of 20 women who have skin, say this to them. I've got to put the product on 15 faces in the next 2 weeks. Can you help me out? That's the booking approach I'll be talking about. And then I may throw in a few getting leads if you feel like you don't know enough people, but I'm telling you, you do. You always think you don't, but